As you know, tracking Barry is an around-the-clock job. The forecast can change within hours. The reason why? Well, data captured by balloons like these.
Yeah, but as you know, what goes up must come down. Melissa Correa shows us how they work.
Weather balloons just launched along the Gulf Coast at 6 p.m. and in about 2 hours, parts of them could land in your backyard. Made of latex and filled with either hydrogen or helium, these weather balloons start off 6 feet wide. As they rise 20 miles up into the atmosphere, those babies expand to 20 feet in diameter. During the 2-hour flight, this technology, tethered to the balloon, measures pressure, temperature, and relative humidity. The info is transmitted back to the ground in real time, and that's how the National Weather Service is able to calculate wind speed and direction. The balloon eventually pops, and the technology slowly parachutes back down. A mailing bag and instructions are attached. About 900 weather balloons are launched around the world, usually twice a day. The closest locations to us are in Brownsville, Corpus Christi, and Lake Charles. With people prepping for Barry, the National Hurricane Center is calling for balloon releases every 6 hours, and they can drift as far as 125 miles away. While Brownsville and Corpus are too far south, instruments launched in Lake Charles could land in the Houston area. About 75,000 of those instruments go up into the sky each year, but only 20% are sent back to the National Weather Service. So keep an eye out.